Righty, boys, it's time for Compare and Contrast, aka the tier list. We are up to part 3. Part 1 was the Friday bar tier list, the after work drink tier list, which went quite well, and we got a lot of hate for it. So we decided to do it again. And we did the restaurant tier list.
The next step in the night, you finish your drinks, you go to a restaurant, you eat, you drink.
And based on my story last week, again, very divisive tier list, I must say. So now we're up to the third part of the night.
Which someone actually asked for last week as well in our Ask TCB.
That is right. Someone did ask us for the club tier list, so we have listened. And so here we are with part 3. This is the definitive Sydney nightclub tier list. Alrighty, a couple of these we've already gone through in the bar tier list, so we'll knock them out nice and easy. Firstly, we'll start with one of our favourites, the Carter, Sydney's most racist club.
Famous by us, really.
You reckon?
Yeah, absolutely. Where does it start? The racism against brown people, they don't let people in. Articles made about them in the Daily Telegraph about how racist they are. We've experienced it firsthand.
So what can we say, really?
What more is there to say? Nowadays, I saw on someone's Instagram story, they're there 12 midnight Friday, which is prime time for the Carter because it's free entry, empty.
No one shows up.
I'll put it on screen, empty.
No, I'm pretty sure Carter got sued by like Jay-Z.
For stealing his
For
name.
stealing the name.
You can't copyright your name.
No, but then also the stealing the decor and stuff.
That's just odd, isn't it?
I think...
What are you, a Carter apologist?
I'm not a Carter apologist, but I'm just saying... No, I'm definitely
not
not a
you.
Carter apologist.
This man over here.
I think you're thinking of Milky Lane.
No, I'm thinking of the Carter.
Really?
Yeah, they had to get rid of... They had like Jay-Z paintings and all that. It was called something else at the beginning. Am I making this up?
I've heard of this.
Yeah, and then essentially Jay-Z or something, their management got in contact and they sued Carter and they had to change it to their name and they had to be like unaffiliated and stuff.
Can I be a Carter apologist for a second?
Fine.
Go on.
When it first opened in 2017?
Slapped.
2018?
One of the best clubs of all time.
I would have said the best club in Sydney at the time.
We were there before the trend, Sen.
Correct.
We got in, no line, whatever. This was before the whole craze, man.
We were one of the early pioneers and trendsetters.
Early adopters.
Exactly. And I would have said, if you had asked me back then, if we did a tier list then, GOAT tier.
Because we were pining for a club that played music we liked at that point. Every man and their dog played either pop remixes or electronic or whatever.
And then all the brown people came. Am I allowed to say that? And then ruined it. So long story short, Sydney's most racist club. Me and Ro were famously not allowed in there. Well, Ro was not allowed in multiple times.
But still wanted to go back in.
And got kicked out promptly every time he did get in. They've got no people in there now.
So we're saying the ball pit upstairs, the big dance floor in the middle, and the dance floor downstairs not redeeming at all?
No way. Although, like, to be fair, the music is still R&B hip hop, which is like my type of music. I really enjoy that stuff.
But you get that at a lot of places nowadays.
Exactly. Now it's
Sydney has
sprinkled across.
changed.
Alrighty, so not many positives. So where are we putting Carter?
This is trash. I don't know anything that'll move it above trash, dude. It's just not it.
Alrighty, so keeping on the trend of clubs we've already talked about, Bungalow 8.
So we talked about this as a bar, but it also functions as a nightclub in the night.
Where do we put on the bar tier list?
I think we put
Last
it
resort.
Last resort.
That's where I want to put it for the club tier list as well.
Because I know many a night, we have been together, us three, as well as other people. We are walking around aimlessly. I'm like, where should we go? And then we throw up all these other places. Carter, it's, might have to pay line far. Argyle, that's a bit far as well. And then we're like, Bungalow. It'll be there. It'll be open.
I'm pretty sure Bungalow starts charging though. There's a cover. I'm pretty sure $20 after maybe 10 or 11.
Serious?
Yeah. Dude,
Jesus.
there's been times where I've walked past Bungalow and there's been a line for Bungalow for some reason. People seem to be ravenous for Bungalow.
Bungalow to me is if you're in Barangaroo and you've had a few drinks and you've unexpectedly wanted the night to continue, you just go there.
Bungalow for me is if you want some jazz music, jazz Drake music, you go to Bungalow and listen to Epic Sax Guy play his saxophone for
God's
nonsensical
plan.
songs.
Can I actually ask this? Does anyone like the saxophone guy at Bungalow?
No one likes the saxophone guy.
But why is he there every Friday?
I was talking to someone. I forgot who. I was talking to someone. I'm talking about the sax guy, and they're like, I actually like them.
No.
You
Why?
guys, you're just a hater. I'm like, no. I'm objectively correct.
You can't be listening to, Low by Flow Rider and this idiot is playing on his alto sax. It
He's
doesn't make
riffing.
sense.
Yeah, it doesn't work, dude. And they just keep hiring the guy nonstop.
I remember one time we're on the dance floor, right? All of us, and then the sax guy starts playing, and then Ro just takes a seat. Takes a seat outside.
I was so off it. Okay, so with Bungalow as a club, right? Inside, it's a cesspool. And dead set, the floors are sticky, like it's trash. I went with Sam. I paid like $24
Oh, yeah.
for a Stone and Wood and a Diet Coke. Can you riddle me that? Either the Diet Coke was $12 or the Stone and Wood is $18. Neither of those options I'm a fan of.
So the drinks are expensive. The music is trash.
I like the outside. I do like the outside.
Inside, outside options. There are seats outside as well if you want to kick back.
What about the clientele?
Clientele.
I don't mind the clientele.
No, they're
What?
like young. They're like young boys and girls.
it is a dichotomy of 18-year-olds or absolute MILFs, cougars. Actually, which makes sense, to be honest.
Well, they're just preying on each other.
Correct. But
Don't
as a
like the
25-year-old brown man, I feel very uncomfortable in Bungalow.
Uncomfortable but safe.
Yes. Safe
Oh.
for sure. I do feel safe.
I do feel safe, actually.
But it's just like, I don't really want to see, like 18-year-olds, like the first time they're going clubbing, they go to Bungalow, they're like hammered off their face. People are like chundering on the floors and stuff like that. I think Manny's right. Last resort for sure.
Next up, Argyle.
I've been to Argyle twice. The first time is a kick on from El Camino because it's right next door. The second time Argyle was doing $1 dumplings.
Oh, okay.
Both times I, ended the night in Argyle as well. So I spent a significant amount of time there. I would say it's all right. I would say there's two like floors. The bottom floor is like, I don't know, they play one type of music. Top floor is a bit more doof doof.
Yeah.
So that's always nice. And, El Camino next door is beautiful. It's a good kick on spot after, if you're in the rocks, that area, you head to Argyle to finish off.
I was going to say, it's in terms of if you're at El Camino, I agree. It's a great place, but it's so out of the way. Like compared to other clubs in Sydney, it's like so far removed from everything else.
I would say you're not chucking Argyle as a first option.
Correct.
You're not being like, oh lads, where do we go tonight? Argyle, right? You only really go if you're in the area.
Are you chucking it? Argyle's around the corner. Let's head
Yeah,
there.
it's more like a spontaneous, let's just go to Argyle after we head to, whatever, Winghouse.
I will say Argyle has probably the most aggressive bouncers in Sydney. The bouncers at Argyle will look for literally any reason not to let you in. I know that's a common theme for most clubs, but more often than not at Argyle, you're getting picked out of the line and getting told, not today, brother.
Actually, no, I do have a story like this. I was going to El Camino, but it's the same entrance to get in, right? Same bouncer, right? I was at 12 on a work day, and then the guy doesn't let my manager in because he has a South Australian driver's license. That's illegal, brother. That's allowed.
Well, we don't consider them to be humans here. in
Well,
Sydney.
regardless, the bouncer should let people in like that, but that speaks to the criteria these bouncers
So
have.
overall, where are we putting Argyle?
I think Argyle, the music is okay, to be honest.
Yeah.
The clientele is fine. It's honestly a fun night. I'm not saying it's like, I'm not.
You're not planning a night to go to Argyle?
Yeah, which is why I think it goes down a little bit. I think it's serviceable.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I'm not excited if you're telling me I'm going to Argyle, but I'm not disappointed either. It is quite literally the
It's
mid.
so. It's just, you chuck it out, fine, let's go. I'm not going to say no, serviceable.
Next up, we got Chinese Laundry.
Well, Chinese Laundry. Iconic Sydney club, dare I suggest. Closed now, but in its heyday was the iconic spot to go if you were into electro, house, trance, all that sort of stuff. It's an underground club as well, and honestly, I thought the vibe was hectic. And the name, low-key, Chinese Laundry is kind of dope.
I was going to say it's got the coolest name of all the clubs in Sydney.
Yeah, we heard so much about it every week, right? Ro from his mates were hearing, they were going every week. So we're like, you know what? Let's give it a go. We went as a group. We got there. First of all, we're not that into EDM. So like the music, we had to get by. And as soon as we got there, obviously we had some drinks beforehand. So I need to take a piss, right? And I go straight into the toilet. Wang's not even out yet. Some guys ask me, bro, do you have any pingers?
Yeah.
And I'm like, sorry, mate, I don't have any. And then he's all of a sudden with best friends like, oh, fuck, I got in here. I thought my dealer was going to be in here, but I couldn't get one off me. And then everyone's like starting to join the conversation in the bathroom about pingers. That's the vibe. That's why it's not for us, but I can completely see why if that's what you're into.
100%.
Mate, it pops off.
It pops.
The like lighting inside, it's nice and dark. I feel like there was one room with a low roof or
I
something.
was going to say that one of the rooms had a really low roof. And
So you're getting a multi-sense experience?
dude, there was this guys with like Vicks vapors up their nose, and we were just there, we'd only drunk, so like we were just like still pretty much, we were still feeling like relatively.
Yeah, but there was like fog, mist. There was like fucking strobe lights going off. The music is like loud. The speakers are nice as well. The bass pops.
My biggest problem though was the cover charge. How much are you
expensive.
willing to pay, Ro, for a club?
Well, firstly, honestly, I'm only willing to pay $20 entry, max.
We paid $45 for Chinese Laundry.
But you're paying for the $45, right? You're paying for no cups and all the drugs you want. It's like, it's a buffet. All you can eat is what Chinese Laundry provides. You know what I'm saying? Because you get there and everyone's just gurning.
Yeah.
Everyone's just grinding their teeth with lollipops and Vicks inhalers. And honestly, it felt like a sense of community.
It's a community. That's where the community is. I rate it highly.
Where are we putting Chinese Laundry?
In my opinion, even though it wasn't for us, I can still understand and respect the cultural significance of the establishment. And I'm going to have to put it at good.
Next up, OPM.
Wow. OPM. think closed now as well.
Rest in peace.
Fucking thank God. So this is one at the top of Star Casino. Every Friday, people would flock. This was the typical rotation of uni students and fresh grads. You go, as we did for our tier list, you go step 1, you go for some drinks. Step 2, you go for some Korean barbecue. Step 3, you go to OPM. My God, when you get there, the line is so long. Because everyone is trying, because it's all uni students, everyone's trying to get in there before 11 to get the free entry. Because I think the cover charge after was like $30.
I thought it was $50.
50 even. Heinous if you're a uni student.
Yeah.
I'm not coughing up 50. So the line is so long, and then you get accosted by the people in the line trying to make you an ambassador or some shit for OPM, trying to get you to sign up.
Yeah, there are these like Asian girls standing in line, scantily clad, who are trying to sign you up and just entice you to come in and get into OPM and become a brand ambassador for them.
I thought they were trying to sell you like table service or bottle service or something.
A bit of that, but
all
also
that stuff.
scouting for ambassadors. And then you see, and then exactly that. You see in the other line, people are just going through, no lineup because they got tables, they got all that, all this and all that. Whatever. That's the hype around it. You go up. It's a good venue, but it's just hard style. It's literally only hard style. There's no second room. There's no this. There's no that. Hard style everywhere.
The only experience I've had in OPM is when our friend Gunn, who scored 5 goals actually today, we were in there and he was hammered and he reached over the bar and stole a bottle of vodka.
Half empty, half full, glass half full,
Glass
half
half
empty.
full. And he was just swigging away at this bottle of vodka and the Sekis came up to him and me and were like, what are you doing? And essentially kicked us all out and then gave him a lifetime ban from the start and OPM. Honestly, fair enough from them. So that's the experience I've had. Hardstyle, I actually didn't mind OPM, to be honest. I thought it was a decent club.
Yeah, it's a good venue. The positive is once you're done, casino's right there. Prime location. So you got kick-ons after the club.
Yeah, the kick-ons at Star Casino is absolutely, that for me, that already makes a GOAT tier. But boys, where are we putting it?
I think it's a good venue. The fact that it's only hardstyle is very limiting. But if you're into hardstyle, I can see that it's a great place to be. I would say serviceable.
Next up, we've got Ivy.
Are we talking Ivy Thursdays? Are we talking Marco Polos?
I've only been on Ivy Thursdays. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I went recently. Well, I tried to go recently. It was a Thursday night, and I reckon it was around maybe 10:30, 11. We rocked up, and the line was wrapped around the building. And we tried to line up, and they're like, it's going to be an hour and a half.
Jesus.
And I said, no, thank you. I've got work tomorrow, but appreciate it. But in the line, I could see already the clientele of Ivy. And it's very much how you would expect it to be. It looked like half of Lakemba and Greenacre was lined up to get inside. The Merc AMGs were outside around the back. So that should tell you the kind of people that frequent Ivy. I've had a couple of nights at Ivy's, and I actually didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty fun.
What music did they play?
Yeah, the times I'd been, they were just playing your standard pop, hip hop, club tunes, which is always, you never go wrong with
You
that.
can't go wrong. This is the problem. Sometimes DJs try to go outside of the norm.
Oh, yeah.
You have to stick to the classic lads.
Exactly.
And Ivy, they do stick to the classics.
I will say, though, because it is Maryvale, the drinks are a bit expensive. Well, that's the problem with this whole precinct in, George Street. They're all owned by bloody Maryvale. Every single restaurant and club in that area, all of it goes straight to Justin Hems. You're paying, $30 for a gin and tonic.
Greedy.
Very greedy. So where are we putting Ivy?
My other problem with Ivy is the Sunday sesh. It's by the pool. That pool is so rancid, bro. I don't know anyone that has gone to the Sunday sesh at Ivy and gone in the pool. So what's the point? It's swimming with fucking bacteria, brother.
I actually have seen one of my mates did fall into the pool.
Have you seen them since? Did you visit them in hospital? What happened?
All right, so where are we putting Ivy? It is an institution of the Sydney clubbing scene. It isn't for people like us.
I can't look past the greed, and I can't look past the rancidness.
And the lines, if it's too long, it's just not fun for anyone involved if you're just waiting an hour. That just kills all vibes.
Are we saying it's trash tier?
I think it's a last resort because if by Jove I'm inside, I'll probably have a good time. But to get there, it's too many barriers.
Last resort. Next up, we have Goros in Surrey Hills.
I love Goros. I actually love it. All right, Japanese style bar club, great food. Not only that, the venue in and of itself is fantastic. There's literally karaoke for free if you want.
For free?
For free, man.
Free.
So you rock up to the bar, you start dancing. There's karaoke rooms if you want to go in. Usually it's pretty full. Usually people are already camped in there. But if you get lucky, you can sit there and have your, clubbing experience and karaoke experience in the same pub.
Is there a cover charge?
No, there's no cover charge. When I went, I did not pay a cent.
Sounds very good.
The only thing is it's small. and it's a bit cramped, but the tunes are blaring, and I don't know, like everyone just seems to have a really good time there.
What kind of tunes are they pumping?
Mate, the music is sublime. They're playing your classic pop hits, the classics, playing dance music. I feel like when I was there, nonstop, I was just constantly dancing. And there was not a single song that did not hit,
Okay.
which is,
Because that's the worst part about going clubbing, right? When you listen to music, every time you're like, when am I going to go for a drink? When am I going to go to the toilet? It's like, oh, I'll go next song if it's trash. And it's always trash.
it's always trash.
But when you're at a place where it's like just bangers nonstop, man, your night's never going to end.
And then like they do like a late night menu as well. So from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., mate, if you're feeling some gyozas, little karage burgers, yeah, treat yourself to feed. Like it's literally a venue with like everything that you need inside.
All right. So where are we putting Goros then?
Look, it's not GOAT, but like
But it's pushing.
it's getting close. Like I would say Goros is one of the best clubs I've ever been to. So I'm going to say it's good.
Next up, Pontoon. Pontoon was what Carter was before Carter and before they got racist. Pontoon is in Darling Harbour, and it is where we spent, I reckon, a couple of nights.
Yeah, Pontoon was a classic, to be honest.
Yeah, in early uni.
Very early uni.
Exactly.
It was like, where do we go? And then people just throw out Pontoon and everyone's just ravenous for it.
Ravenous is a stretch.
And similarly, because it seems to be a rite of passage for all the uni students, because we went, I reckon, what, a year ago, 2 years ago? And
For a pub golf challenge, actually.
correct. And the clientele was the same. It was still fresh 18, 19-year-olds. So we felt very out of place as 23-year-olds.
Also in golf attire.
Oh, yeah, that as well.
Yeah.
Me and Ro with a golf glove in our hand.
Yeah, that golf club got discarded that night. But I got to say, look, I'll give you a story that I had from Pontoon. There was like lockout laws. I don't think they let people in past a certain time.
Correct.
Right? So I couldn't get in and I was like, oh, damn, man. Like, and my friends from Canberra who had come and they were like, apparently they had heard about Pontoon.
What?
Yeah, they were like,
It's national. Pontoon's national.
let's go to Pontoon. I was like, all right, well, if you want to go to Pontoon, I'll take you to Pontoon.
You're like, are you sure?
Yeah, I was like, Pontoon? Like, that's definitely not what you're thinking. But we take him to Pontoon. The bouncer's like, sorry, brother. Like, you can't get in now. It's too late. And we're sitting here like, oh, damn, this sucks. So we walk outside and then we're like, oh, should we try and like jump the fence? And then we're like, all right, we'll give that a go. And so Pontoon, the fence is like pretty high, but there's, chairs and stuff outside at the restaurant next door that you can jump over. So I jump over the fence. My mate jumps over the fence. The third guy, he's about to jump the fence and the bouncer suddenly looks at him from underneath and he's like, what are you doing? So he drops back, right? He doesn't make it in. We go outside because obviously we don't want to dog him now and I don't want to be in Pontoon.
Yeah.
So really there's only one person who wants to be in Pontoon. So we go outside and we're like, all right, we'll try to get the third person in. And we see the bouncer outside having a dart, like on his break. And then we're like, oh, brother, we chat to him for a bit, rizzed him up a little bit. And we're like, hey, man, like we'd love to get in any way possible. And then my friend's like, I've got, a 10. Would that do? And he's like, make it a 20 and we've got a deal.
Seriously?
Yeah. So for $20, you can bribe a bouncer at Pontoon and get yourself let in for free.
That's class.
Wait, did you say get yourself let in for free?
Well, look, it was not my $20 that went out the door.
But Pontoon is not a venue that you want to be bribing a bouncer.
How
for.
is the Pontoon experience?
When we were in uni, it was all right. Coming back as a 23-year-old, it was disgusting.
I don't think it was ever all right.
Really?
I think I hated it from the moment I set foot in that door.
Dare I
Really?
suggest because you didn't know better?
I was going to say, we had rose-tinted glasses back then. We were still new to the scene, so anything would do.
Any place with alcohol and loud music was already a lovely venue.
But looking back, it's a filthy venue. And
I actually don't think there's a single redeeming part about Pontoon.
I agree. So where are we putting it?
In my opinion, it can be nothing but trash.
Agreed.
Nothing good about it.
Next up, we have Cliff Dive.
Wow. Really popular club.
Very.
Very popular. Every time you go here on a Friday, Saturday night, lines out of the wazoo, mate. Even if you go at like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Big line. I've had mixed experiences. Most of the time, I'm happy to line up, happy to go early. Been in. Music has been unreal. Dance floor has been unreal. The vibes are nice. I went the other day though, after a mate's 25th. Waited in line for about 45 an hour. I get in. Bro, they've changed the music. It was like random pop music for some reason. And like not, bangers.
It's not hip hop anymore.
No. The 30 minutes I stayed that night, it was not. So me and my friends were keen to go. But then after 30 minutes, like, this is not how we remembered Cliff Dive. Maybe that was just a one-off night. I can attribute it to that. I have a many good night in Cliff Dive.
I lived 50 meters away from Cliff Dive. I went there 0 times because of the line. I saw it. I was like, this is too much. Also, the venue's small. But I will say what Cliff Dive does have going for it is, did you guys see the proposal that happened at Cliff Dive.
Couple
was
years
that?
ago.
A couple of years ago, this bloke met his partner, or I guess his fiancée, his future wife, at Cliff Dive and decided to commemorate the moment by proposing at the same venue.
One of the trashiest things I've ever seen in my life. I will say
100%. It's actually one of the worst proposals of all time.
Yeah.
But again, is it a sense of community, a sense of, it's an iconic place?
No,
Propose by all means, but don't drag the rest of us into this.
I'm just saying, like, it's just disgusting to propose a Cliff Dive, but whatever. Look, all I'm saying for Cliff Dive is you can potentially find your life partner.
The love of your life could be grinding on other blokes in Cliff Dive tonight.
Exactly. So you just go in there. That's all I got to say. That's a plus. And then there's also videos. I feel like Cliff Dive's social media game is like pretty good because there's also like videos and photos I see of like 85-year-old dudes like living it up in Cliff Dive. They're just like partying. You seen this?
No.
Yeah. So there's like ample footage, like multiple weeks. They've got like, I don't know, maybe it's a plant, but they've got like some guy who's like old.
Is it the same guy?
No, it's different guys each time. So someone's grandfather's come in like looking for a party and then like everyone gets around him
Right, okay.
and they document that.
I have a similar story to you, Ro, whereas I think I've lined up 3 times for Cliff Dive, upwards of 40 minutes each time. Didn't even get close to the door. So I've actually never been inside. The last time I went was with you, Manu. And we waited, I don't know how long we waited for, but I needed to pee. So I'm like, well, we're in the line. I obviously can't get in to go pee. So I need to go find a beautiful tree to go pee on.
I think we left Ro in the line as well.
So
he was in
I
the line
went-
to wait.
So I went walking down the street and you came with me. We didn't find any trees, but I did find a beautiful door on an apartment building. And in my drunken state, I thought this is actually the ideal place I need to pee immediately.
Because that door was the first one we saw without a camera.
Correct.
So we're like, how can we get caught?
So, I drop trow and I let loose and I'm, blissfully unaware of my surroundings when the door to the left of me suddenly opens and this man comes barging through and he comes literally right up to me and he's
It's like a 6'4" big white bloke.
massive, dude. And I've got wang in hand, mind you.
Like power lifter type build.
Okay, that's
and
scary.
And he begins to accost me. He's like, what the hell are you doing?
Which is fair, completely fair.
No, to be fair, first of all, he was friendly. He's like, oh man, how's your night going?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you're just peeing here, are you? And then
he said, do you remember what he said to me?
I don't remember, do you?
He's like, how would you like it if I came and peed on you?
Yeah, and then he started like grabbing for his pants. And then I'm like, Seti, we gotta
Dude,
chat.
and I was pretty waved at the moment, so I wasn't fully clicking what was happening. And then when he said that, my mind suddenly just like snapped back into place. I'm like, well, that is a pretty fucking wild thing to say to someone. And me and Manu mid-piss, I zipped myself back up and we started just legging it,
Fair enough.
sprinting while this guy's yelling at us down the street.
Because
Like,
I think he was about to grab Seti.
yeah,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you escaped death by just the barest of margins.
exactly.
But like, honestly, fair enough if you're pissing on this guy's door. Like, honestly.
So that is my Cliff Dive story. Where are we putting Cliff Dive?
I think Cliff Dive, once you're in, immaculate experience. But the barrier to entry of the line
So high.
is so high.
And also, it's small. It's a tiny venue. Like, you're packed like sardines. And so there is positives, but there's also negatives.
It's not a reliable place you can go to and plan for because the line packed. I think serviceable because once you're in, lovely.
Next up, Masif.
Oh my God, this cesspool. Shark Hotel. Man, every fucking Sydney LB and LG are going here. They're trying to get it. It's just hardstyle and pingers, but it's in a hotel. It's rancid.
Look,
your-
the only good thing about Shark Hotel was when Holy Basil was still in business. Like, I remember, the thing is the drinks are $5 at Shark Hotel, but it's just a grungy venue, dude.
It's so rancid, man. And everyone is there because of the culture, because of the LBLG culture, which is rancid.
So this is where the rave rats are going.
It's Rave Rat City, man. When there's
Kevin
no
Ewens of the world.
exactly when there's no rave going on, this is the place to be. This is where they bring their fucking light up finger gloves and their fucking lollipops and shit. And no, not for me. No way.
But is this like the Chinese laundry? You know what I mean? Like, we praise Chinese laundry because of the culture and the fact that
No,
it was
but I've
not for
seen
us, but
pictures and videos of the venue. It is ass. Like it is actually ass.
no, we've been to the Shark Hotel. There's like carpets and stuff. Is Massive, like, because what I'm picturing is the Shark Hotel. There's like a restaurant on the right, and there's like basically like a sports bar type thing. And you're saying that turns into Massive?
Yes. It doesn't make
Yeah.
sense, man. And if you want hardstyle like OPM, I'll give you that. I don't understand hardstyle culture and LBLG culture, but that was a good place to go, right? The venue was nice. This is, I can't stress this enough, rancid.
All right, so where are we putting Masif?
Bro,
Even the name Massive.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a terrible
it's not
name.
massive, it's massive.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Who knows? But
like
it sounds try hard.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, if you're into hardstyle, I'll give you that, right? You can go there if you'd like. Me, I'll not be there, but last resort if you're into that sort of music.
Next up, we have Embassy.
Embassy, the idea of Embassy is absolutely lovely. You know, it's right by Town Hall near Hilton. Go in, you go up. It's a nice venue. They play mainly hip hop as well as pop, bit of hardstyle here and there. Good variety, outdoor area, smoking area, but in reality, brother, you are standing in line at Hilton for like an hour.
I was going to say, I've walked past the Hilton line many a times and I've thought, this must be a great club. But I famously hate lines, so I'm like, I'm not lining up. But dude, that line stretches down George Street, like, you know, I'm talking 10, 20, 30, 40 meters, like hundreds of people in that line.
I think I've waited on average in that line 45 minutes.
Jesus
like that
Christ.
that's average. So I've waited longer than that to get in. The line is fucking rancid.
Yeah, all these people lining up. Is it free or is there a cover charge?
Brother, there is a cover charge unless you have been accosted by Christian from fucking Embassy. he'll hit you up on Facebook and he'll give you free tickets, but you have to be of a certain
Asian girl.
a certain ethnicity and gender
Yeah.
and willing to do certain things. I won't say what, but it is what it is.
Does this guy own the club? Or?
He owns a club.
Allegedly. I want to say allegedly for all of this. Allegedly.
All right. Embassy, I've never been. I have no real strong opinions on this. Manu, this is all you. Where are we putting it?
Again, it's like Cliff Dive. Once you're inside, it is a good experience. Tad overrated because everyone in there fucking dressed in black and typical, you know, Asian uni vibe. But once you're in, the music is good. Large venue as well, so there's plenty of space. Drinks are good. Serviceable, I'd say. Once you're in, good. But barrier to entry, so I'd say serviceable.
Alrighty, second last one. This one's an absolute icon of the Sydney nightlife culture. Sadly, no longer with us, but it is Starbar. Starbar, I think, was the first proper bar/club I ever went to.
It's because they served $5 drinks.
Not only $5 drinks, they did the $9 jugs.
Correct.
So
Tui's jugs.
So there's many a nights where we started where I bought myself 2 jugs of Tui's, $18. There you go. There's your whole night sorted. Mm-hmm. I remember being so bloated sitting in Starbar or downstairs, like in the
Where the pool tables were.
Oh, dude, bring it back.
It's such an iconic place because it's so easy to get to as well.
Yeah.
Right along George Street, right there. You've heard drinks are cheap.
Yeah.
Big venue. Lovely.
And there was the club part upstairs. So if you went maybe on a Friday night, Saturday night, the top part upstairs turned into a club. You'll find beautiful Nepalese men there who are very friendly and very, you know, keen to kick on with girls. So that was always an experience and a half.
There was one time, it was with one of you or both of you.
It was both of us.
We
were both
went there and we were there just people watching Nepalese men try to pick up.
Yeah, I remember this night. It was us 3. We went, I don't know why we went, but we were there maybe, it was a Saturday night, maybe at 10, 11 o'clock. And you're right, we were just people watching. And it came to the point where we were like cock blocking these little Nepalese men. Like there was this one guy in particular who was like so creepy and was being like pretty forward with these women who are clearly uncomfortable and not for it. So we were like dancing, but like pushing these guys away from the girls. We were like white knighting.
Did we do that?
I do remember us doing this, but we did it for the sick satisfaction of just not letting this guy...
Let this pest get his way, dude.
We were just trying to... As long as this guy wasn't successful, it was a successful night for us. So, yeah, Starbar will always be known as the place to get cheap drinks, and that was pretty much it. Like, you know, there was no line for it. You could just waltz in. But that's because it was shit.
Good reason.
That's an indication of the quality of the venue.
No one wanted to go there. There was a reason why it was always, you know, half empty.
Everyone floats up Starbar as a meme, you know?
Yeah,
Let's go to Starbar, you get a few laughs, then you go to the actual place you want to go to.
Starbar literally became a meme towards the end.
I don't think Starbar is for local like uni students.
No.
I think it was for international students. Like that was the kind of people that rocked up to Starbar.
Correct.
Right? And we get there and like, to be honest, the music is nothing to write home about.
No.
The venue itself is just bad.
Pretty grotty.
But the good thing about it was the $9 jugs and the plaques you can buy pool while drinking. Like starting your night, Starbar was fine, but like honestly,
as a club, this is the nightclub tier list. It turns into a club of how we rating that part.
Oh, there is nothing redeemable about it.
Actually trash.
So trash tier.
Correct. Alrighty, lucky last, we have, wow.
This might be Sydney's best nightclub.
Really?
Present day, this might be the spot. Every time I go on a night out, every birthday party, every kick-ons, everyone's like, let's go to WOW. And it gets so much traction.
So pound for pound, the best.
I think it's the best, right? It's in Ivy. It's got 2 floors upstairs. And it's also sectioned off. So it's got an R&B hip-hop place up top. And it's not just some random DJ playing it. It's curated. They've got some old school bangers, new school bangers, It's lovely. And then downstairs, mate, that's where like the hardstyle, EDM, house, whatever, different DJs every week. So like if you like hardstyle, you'll find out where the hardstyle DJ
So
is.
music is good.
Music is unreal. It caters to basically everyone. Big venue,
Spacious.
spacious, and it's at the Ivy, so the entertainment is off the chops, mate.
Yeah, that's what I've heard as well. Like, I've never been to WoW, but my friends who have said, like, the atmosphere and the entertainment is like top notch. Like, they've never had a bad night at WoW.
Is it a cover charge or is it free?
It is steep, I'll give you that, but there is a massive line to get in.
Right.
That speaks to the quality of how many people are willing to pay to get into this venue.
What about the clientele? What kind of people are we looking at?
The clientele is mainly, the Asian demographic.
WoW is spelled WAO.
Not WOW.
Oh.
So you just, make your own mind up there.
But there is clientele of all sorts, but the majority, yes, is like the Asian variety. But
Look, we've slammed a lot of these places for having lines, but WoW, I think, from what I'm hearing, people are willing to wait and they're happy. They're happy to pay the money.
the juice is worth the squeeze,
That
as
is
they say.
exactly right.
So what are we saying? Is this it? This is the GOAT tier.
I think it is the go-to because I don't know any negatives I can say about it. The negatives is a bit pricey line, but that comes to
But
expected
it's
with
worth
such
it.
a top tier venue.
All right, so we're saying WoW is GOAT tier.
It's the GOAT.
All right, so that pretty much sums up our beautiful tier list. Just to go through it, we have WoW at the GOAT tier. We have Goros and Chinese Laundry in the good tier. We have Argyle, Embassy, OPM, and Cliff Dive in serviceable. We have Ivy, Bungalow, and Masif in last resort. And then we have the three musketeers at the bottom.
The Stooges.
The three stooges, yeah, in the trash tier being Carter, Pontoon, and the newly deceased Starbar. So let us know if you agree with that. I think we've done pretty well there.
A lot of people have submitted a lot of nightclubs, so apologies if we didn't get to it.
Oh yeah, there was a few noticeable ones that we did leave out. Unfortunately.
Plenty.
But otherwise, we'd be sitting here for an hour tier listing it. I don't think anyone wants to sit through that. So
So let us know if we miss any really iconic ones.
and we could do a part 2.